Hello, everyone, and welcome to another one of our Real Talk business series. I get the pleasure today to interview and ask a few questions from my upline. She's a top leader of the company. I think it's actually the top rank, which, side note, you'll start to hear that there's a lot of people at the top. And that is a really good sign of growth within a company. Because I don't know about you guys, I came from a company where there was like two. So we've got a lot. So Ainsley is a part of that beautiful community that we're in. She's also from Canada. So thank you so much, Ainsley, for being here.
Of
Um,
course.
it's just so good. Like we could chat all day. Like there's something that I just like love about Ainsley. She's just very down to earth, and you will see that with her content as well. So let's start. Do you want to share a little bit about yourself, why you are here in this opportunity, how it came across?
Yeah, of course. So my name is Ainsley. I'm 33. I am a mom of three, and they vary from 12, 10, and 1 years old. So I started in the whole industry 12 years ago, but I actually started Amare 4 years ago. It was 4 years ago last month that I actually started and, launched my business off the ground after using the products for a few months. And my story is kind of cool because I do feel like when you meet a lot of people in the network marketing industry and they're all, oh, I came here for the compensation plan, or I came here because I wanted the business or whatever. And that was not my story with Amari. It was my story with every other company that I've been a part of, but with Amari it wasn't. And in January of 2022, I actually went to the naturopath. I was 20. I told this story earlier to someone too, and I couldn't believe it. Like when I found Amare, because I'm 33, so it would have been like 29, 28, turning 29. So when I was 28, I did not have a cycle for 2.5 years, which I think is very young. Part of me was like celebrating. I was like, yeah, no cycle. This is amazing. But I'm like, but then as you get older and you realize that your cycle actually is the fundamental aspect of like how your hormones, every hormone in your body works. You're just like, okay, yeah, I actually need that and to feel my best. And so for 2.5 years, I didn't have a cycle. It was just MIA. And then other things started happening. And I was just like, I don't know. At 20 years old, I just don't feel the way I feel like I should feel. And very irritable with my kids. They were young. And I just felt it, you get to a point where you just kind of throw your hands in the air and you're like, something's got to give, right? And so I went to a naturopath in January of 2022 and I did the full hormone panel, which I was very excited about. And they were like, okay, you've got, this, and we're going to put you on tinctures of
Yeah.
all of these
Oh,
different
yeah.
types of, and it was a mile long. And I was like, great. And I spent $2,000 that I did not have, but I was like, to the dollar, I was excited about the fact that this is my answer. And then I started taking them. And if I thought that I was irritable before, add in alarms going off morning, noon, and night, and having to do tinctures under my tongue and my kids in the background and whatever else. And I'm just like, is this a joke? Like, is this actually what people are supposed to do to feel better? Right. But it was my first go at like, investing in myself. And so I did that for 12 weeks and I did blood work again. And I don't know if maybe, I'm not saying that that stuff didn't work at all. I think it was maybe a starting point, but nothing changed on the blood work. And maybe it also had to do with the fact that, like, that wasn't a seamless experience either. Like, it wasn't fun. It was very stressful. And if we were out and about and an alarm went off that I had to do my tinctures under the tongue, I'm like, get like, no, we need to go home now. You know what I mean? Like I invested so much money, blah, 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 blah. And so it wasn't a good experience. And so my blood work didn't change. And he's like, okay, let's do another 6 weeks. You're obviously, it's been 2.5 years. It's like, it's not that he was lying. It was just the fact that I was like, this is just too much. And I kind of threw my hands in the air. And, I didn't even add this in, but granted, like before I went to the naturopath, I had tried so many different supplements from all different types of friends and different companies and things over the counter and things at the store and things that were recommended on Google, like all of that, right? So, I threw my hands in the air as in like that was my last stitch effort and I'm like done. And I'm like, whatever, I don't know. I just need a break. And then so that was January and that takes us to basically like that 12 weeks takes us to the end of March, I guess it would have been. Because at the beginning of April, there was a girl who's local to me that I knew I had on Facebook, but I didn't see her post a lot. And all of a sudden she starts talking about the gut brain axis. And I was like, well, that's interesting. And and the naturopath had said to me, like, it's not, he didn't give it to me, but he was like, you need to get on a really good quality probiotic for your gut. But I was just, I just had enough money for these tinctures that he was trying to sell me. And so I never got on a probiotic. And so she was talking about the gut brain axis. She was talking about the quad biotic with this company, Amare. No idea what it was. But kind of like, nobody else was talking about that at
Yeah.
all. And nobody had a quad biotic and nobody was talking about the gut brain axis. And it was very new. And I was just like, that's kind of cool. And so I reached out to her, but that was the beginning of April. I bought it in May. I think it was, yeah, the beginning of May. I let it sit on my counter. So I bought the Quad Biotic and I bought the Edge, the transformation pack. And I let it sit on my counter for a couple weeks. And my husband was basically like, dude, you're either going to take this or you're going to throw it out. Like it's not sitting here anymore. And I was just like, okay, fine, I'll start taking it. So I started and I mixed up the drink and I was pleasantly surprised about how delicious it was. And then I took the quad biotic and I was like, I've tried drinks before that were like had an aftertaste or like just didn't taste like how the flavor profile was supposed to be. And it's delicious. I got the grape edge. And anyways, I started taking it. It's like almost 3 weeks later. And I wake up in the morning and I sit on the toilet and I got my cycle for the first time in like 2.5 years. And I was
Oh,
like, this is what? This is crazy, right? And it was cool because I didn't feel anything at all before then. So it was like nothing physical was manifesting yet. It was like all internal kind of was happening first, and that's how these supplements work. Like you'll feel some physical symptoms of like maybe more mental clarity, more energy, but like I don't think I was even because I had it in my head like this is just I'm just taking this to take it to get it off the counter. I didn't go into it with like a really positive mindset. So I didn't notice like any of those things prior, right? And I wake up with my cycle and I'm like scrambling for my phone. I call my husband at work and I'm like, I got my period. And he's just like, what? And I'm like, yeah, this is crazy. And anyways, it was just awesome. And after 2.5, I have PCOS and I have endometriosis too. And you get a lot of pain with your cycle. So, I didn't say that before, but like I was celebrating the fact that I didn't have my cycle because when I was on it, I was bedridden and that's not fun. And so I was just like I mean I still felt things but I was like this is very mild like I don't even need to take a pain med for it. And so that was very exciting for me and I was just like and then my girlfriend had come down. She had seen me a month prior and she came down around the time I think it was maybe a Friday that I got my cycle and they were coming down for the weekend. And so I didn't tell anyone that I was using it. And she was like she walks in my house and this is like my best friend and she was like you look different. I can't tell. I don't know what it is, but like you just look different. And she's like, maybe your eyes aren't as puffy. I don't know. And I was like, oh, thanks. But it was like the inflammation in my face, and I just kind of looked more fresh, right? And so I was losing inflammation, and people notice things on you before you notice them because you see you every day. So that is my introduction into this company. And I went from a sit at the back of the counter and I'm only going to be a customer to I can't not share this with people. And I think that that is a really organic, fun way to discover something. Um, Yeah, like my sponsor's no longer here, but when she was she was very adamant and I was like, go. Like, stop messaging me. And I was very annoyed. And, I was thankful every day after that. But yeah, before that, I was just like, stop. I'm only going to be a customer and I'm only buying this one.
So when you, and I love it because it's so powerful. Like I'm there with you on the toilet when that happened because it's like a
Yeah.
beam of light from the gods open up and it's like,
Yeah.
oh,
I know you're like, I'm sorry. What is that?
that's like the biggest validation because that's massive because
Yeah.
obviously from then you've got another baby from then as
Yeah.
well. So
Yeah.
there's so much depth in that, and I know
Yeah.
many will relate. So having an upline that's going, hey, your story, because I'm listening to it, getting all the shimmers. What made you? Because you were part of another opportunity and growing a business
Yeah.
and you were having as a customer such profound things. What was the moment that you went, do you know what, I need to build this business? And then from there, how how did it work for you? Because being in Canada, you were also at a default very similar to what
Yeah.
Australia and New Zealand are going through, because we're a newer market and we're only just
Yeah.
cracking open now. So
Yeah.
having those results, having an upline that's a sponsor that's not even really around,
Yeah.
joining, and then what? Like, how did that?
Yeah. Yeah. So when she was bugging me, I say the word bugging, but I mean, truly, at the time, I'm just going through the journey like that. It was bugging. And I was like, dude, I know you've been in this industry before. I've been in this industry before. Like, you're bugging me.
Yeah, yeah,
And so, so I was with a makeup company.
yeah,
And I was just having fun. Like it wasn't something I also worked at a salon, like a spa. So I was just like I kind of wrote myself off from like building a health and wellness business again. And I was just like, no, I'm gonna be a customer. And I don't know, as the days kind of went on and I really kind of went in inside of to like how I actually feel on these products, because after that happened, everything started to be like, okay, I need to pay attention now to like
yeah,
how I feel and if these are actually impactful like on a, outside perspective too. And then people started noticing like me just looking a little bit different and losing inflammation, and it was almost like just one of those things where how can I not share this? And then when, I started to become more open to the idea, she told me about the 5 for 5 bonus. And I was like, I was in a company that you made 15% commission. And in order to make $500, I had to sell like 30 makeup kits. So I was just like, okay, and that was like my introduction. And that was my ability to be like, one, I've never had I've always had a result with something, which is why I share it, but this has never impacted me like these products have before. So this is an exciting share. And it was like the most organic thing. I was like, if I want to get on and I want to share about them, then I'm going to do it. Like if I wake up tomorrow morning and I am excited to mix my drink and talk about it, I'm just going to let it kind of go from there and see what happens. So that's exactly what happened. Like, I I think it was the end of May that I started. I wanted to say there was only a couple days left in May and I got my 5 for 5. So imagine 2 days left of a month and being able to be like, I made $640. Like that's not normal, you know? And so that was very crazy and enticing and exciting. And I just thought, I just found myself like just wanting to organically share it and being excited to wake up in the morning and share it. And I think that's what this is about, right? Like you have to be excited to talk about the product. It is not just about how much money people can make and the compensation plan, and my compensation plan is better than your compensation plan.
yeah,
It's like, does this product excite you to talk about? Because that is, I mean, now I'm 4 years later and still to this day, my story excites me to talk about. So I know I'm in the right place, right?
yeah.
And that's what it's about. So that's kind of just where that's what kept me going. Um And then the other question, oh, the Canada
Yeah.
question.
So
Yeah.
at the same time, like that was happening, and your story is like you can hear the energy and feel it, right? As you share
Yeah.
it. Like there's no doubt that this is why you're here, and so many of
Yeah.
us are because of that. But then having the, opening in Canada, like
Yeah.
how did you like? Let's be more even specific. How did you master your belief in your story to also simultaneously be in a market that wasn't really open and deal
Yeah.
with that and grow so extraordinarily all at the same time?
Yeah. So, I mean, I'm not going to lie. Obviously, you have a couple hiccups where you say things that you shouldn't say or whatever, but the way that I see it is if you're always leading with the way that you feel on the products and maybe not the headline of like, this is what it can do for you,
Yeah.
X, Y, and Z of things that like people provide or the company provides, but then maybe you can't say that in a market that you're in. You just lead with how you're feeling, and that's how I did it. That's kind of like the workaround. Like this is what it can do for you, but this is how I feel on it. And people don't purchase from you based off of a clinical data sheet of all these things unless you have had that result, right? So I think that obviously there's different, like, you look at the US market that can say everything under the sun, then you look at the Canadian market that maybe doesn't have the product, and you're not able to talk about it very openly. But there are ways to get around it. Like I am taking this supplement that I'm noticing, like for instance last week when I got on my stories and I was talking about it, I didn't lead with the fact that this collagen can reduce your wrinkles by 937%. I led with the fact that, oh my gosh, I had my leg up in the car the other day, and I normally see, like, because I suffer with very dry skin, I normally see like a line of like almost my skin isn't supple and plump enough. Like that's what I struggle with. And I noticed that when I had my leg up in the car, my skin was actually like I didn't see that line anymore. So the way that this product works with the dermal thickness and the clinical result of the dermal thickness, I'm noticing that in my leg, right? So I'm just like, it's just a play on words instead of being like, hey, this will reduce your dermal thickness, or sorry, improve your dermal thickness by 500%. I'm like, well, my leg is, you know what I mean? So that just little things like that I try to openly say and always provide a different outlook or a resource for somebody to say, for them to be like, oh, she's in Canada, this is how she explained it. I should maybe dig deep within myself and how are these products, like, are there little things on my body that I'm noticing that's different than me just being like, yeah, your crow's feet wrinkles can reduce. you
See,
know
that's leading in that how we should build business, not should, because everyone can build differently, but that is a
Yeah.
really strong point because you're building a brand that you said earlier that you share what is going on with you, and you don't often even have to say what it actually is
Yeah.
because you can be talking about, oh, I went to this amazing restaurant and I got pampered and the service was great and the food, and you might never mention the restaurant, but in your DMs people will be asking you, hey, where's that
Yeah.
restaurant? I live
Yeah.
near that area. So
Yeah.
there is a lot of power in not feeling that you need to say all the things.
Yeah.
So when you build business, would you say that you build sort of, because everyone does, as I said, differently, like would you say it's attraction marketing that you build? And what does that actually look like, for you building business? How would you describe it to someone that's new?
Yeah. So I, the way that I teach someone, like if we're on a call right now and you're brand new into my business, I am going to say to you, attraction marketing beats, you know, stats and beats just uh photo up on the screen of what the $500 bonus breakdown is or whatever. Like the life, you're selling a lifestyle, right? But it's the lifestyle that you're living. And you don't want to say, oh my gosh, you can make $20,000 a month in network marketing, but it's the lifestyle that you are able to live. Maybe you're able to go to Costco and instead of the or yeah, the groceries being on your credit card, you're paying with them with your debit card with your 5 for 5 bonus or whatever it is, right? Like those are the things. It's like when you're starting out, every little thing that you share matters because somebody's gonna watching you from the very beginning, being like, well, like I thought network marketing wasn't for me, but it's kind of cool that Sam gets to go to the gas station and fill up and or that she made $640 last month and she's able to go to Costco, fill up her car with it, and maybe take her kids out for dinner or take her kids to the movies. And like little tiny things like that is what manifests into a bigger business because you're planting the seed being like you're not trying to sell someone something that you're not living. Like little tiny details matter. And that's exactly when first started with Amari, but even just first started in the industry, it was like I mean, a box of diapers and formula was literally why I joined 12 years ago to get diapers every single month and formula. So, I mean, if you're honest about why and you kind of set yourself apart from other people that way too, because you're not trying to say, I'm doing that, or you can make $10,000 a month. You're saying, no, I'm here for formula money. I'm here for grocery money. I'm here to pay off debt. I'm here to build something. I'm here to show other moms that you can work from your phone and create an income from the house under Wi-Fi, which is crazy. So yeah, just things like that. And like, I mean, at the end of the day, it's just being honest about the whole thing. But a lot of people don't like, they want to sell what possibly could happen. Whereas if you just sell what you're currently being able to provide for yourself in that moment, even if it's just gas money that month, it's better than nothing. And it's something that you did for yourself in the comfort of your own home with your kids at home. So I think that that's really powerful.
It is so powerful, and it gives permission that the criteria that some people have put on themselves is
Yeah.
irrelevant. It's just really showing who you are, sharing
Yeah.
what you do authentically, and people want to know behind the scenes. There's a reason why
Yeah.
reality TV is popping because
Yeah.
everyone's just bloody nosy, and
Yeah.
I'm up for it. To find out
Yeah.
what happens at home in the Bondy household. So I just, I love it. So, thinking about you and your household, because we're going to get into it, just this will be the final question,
Okay.
is how do you structure your day around your business? Because it's not like you're new. You have been here in this industry for 12 years. You've been with Amare 4 years. You're top of the company. You have a massive team, right?
Mhm.
So how
Yeah.
do you structure this with your cherubs, with your home, without, burning yourself out? And you always seem so calm and relaxed. Like there's tough times, don't get me wrong, and
Yeah.
stress. But
Yeah.
what does your like routine and boundaries and structure look like building a business?
Yeah, so one thing I learned, I mean, I am a people pleaser for one. So you can probably get that sense from me. So that I always like that has taken me a very, very, very long time to even create a boundary within my business. And I'm just being honest, like you need to make sure that because that will create burnout and it has created burnout for me, not here, but just previously, right? And it just makes you resent yourself and your inability to like say no. And I think that you need to, if you are looking at this business as a very long-term thing and you're like, I don't care how much money I make next month, the month after, whatever, but I'm doing this for long-term stability. And this is something that, doesn't take a lot of time throughout the week or the day. You have to think about it that way. So the way that I kind of structure everything is if I'm asked to get on, if there's a call, I am like, and let's say my kids have a sporting event, but the call was made after, like if I knew the sporting event was a couple weeks ago, but then I was asked to do a call, and I'm like, I'm not doing the call, I'm going to the sporting event, because that is why you do this business,
Yeah,
right? To be able to say yes to those things. But let's say, the Tuesday calls that I do every single night at 8:30 p.m. It's like that's a standalone thing, and we're doing that all the way till Christmas. I'm doing that over something else. Like if Matt says, "Hey, our friends down the street want to do a barbecue." Sorry, I'm not canceling the call for that. So
yeah,
there's just certain things that I'm like, if this is happening, like if you're watching this and you are a potential that you're like kind of, okay, I think I want to do this business, but I don't know if I can put the time aside to be able to show up for these things. It's like, this is the way, and I have operated a different way before, and I think that it has led to people not kind of fully committing. And if you want this business to work for yourself, you have to fully commit. So if there are calls that are structured within your organization that you like, Beck's 1 p.m. Eastern call, or if you have a call, right? Or my 8:30 p.m. call, if you know that that's happening, say that's work. Like, I'm going on and I'm learning something, and I'm going to be able to apply those things, and that is a work call, and that is work time, right? So maybe that, and that's one time a week.
yeah,
So the other times when I'm doing content, I'm filming that when the baby's sleeping or my kids don't need me. You're not like, "Hey guys, I need you to go somewhere else right now,
yeah,
because I need to film content. Leave the house. Like, that you can't be here." You're not doing that,
yeah.
but you're doing it because if you do that, you're going to resent your work. You're going to resent content creation. You're going to resent showing up for this business. You're going to eventually burn yourself out, because you're going to say to yourself, uh, why am I pushing my kids away and not playing with them in order to for this business that's not making me thousands and thousands of dollars yet, right?
Yeah.
So if there's a pocket in your day, use it. If your kids are down for a nap, or your kids are occupied and you can do something within that 10 minutes, do it, right? Do your follow-ups, make a post, whatever that is. And that's how you're not going to burn yourself out. You're able to do both, but you're not pushing your family aside in order to do this for the name of whatever, for the sake of whatever. So that's kind of how I've been building my business. And when I came here, I kind of thought to myself, okay, I'm going to do this differently, because I would not go to my kids' sporting event in order to do a call. And
Yeah.
I would miss out on those things when they were young to build a previous business. And you end up resenting it, and you end up resenting yourself, and then you resent everyone. So,
Absolutely. And I love that you are very honest that that was a part of your life, because I can relate to that too. And that's
yeah,
why a lot of people leave, because it's not sustainable. And that's
yeah,
why now you'll start to see, not only with yourself, more in the industry, that are really showing those boundaries and that you can make
yeah,
it work. And I love the word lifestyle, because you just get used to snapping different moments. And then when you have that quiet time, you can then upload.
yeah,
Even like with stories, I never ever post stories in the moment I'm doing it. It
yeah,
came like, oh, I spent the day at the beach, but that will be shown at nighttime when I
yeah,
have that quiet moment.
yeah,
And you
yeah.
learn all
I
those.
had that conversation with someone a couple weeks ago, because she works full time and she's a house cleaner. So
Yeah,
she's like, "Well, I can't take stories." And I'm like, "Well, record in that time that you have in the morning at home when you're making your record it, post it at night when you're laying in bed at 10 p.m. Like,
yeah.
nobody's asking you to post in real time. That's the other that I'm glad that you mentioned that, because nobody really posts in real time. Like, who has time to do the story, write the captions, and post right then? I only am able to do that when Lennon's sleeping. 90% of my stuff is not in real time. You
But I
upload it
just
later.
imagine sitting at dinner. Sorry, Dean, I'm going to
Yeah.
share this. we probably would not be talking. It's just like,
Yeah,
you know,
I know.
it,
Yeah.
it's a
Yeah.
real thing, but it's just how it's perceived. And because it's a
Yeah.
global business, you're getting people looking, whether you know it or not, throughout the
Yeah.
world in different times.
Yeah.
So we
Yeah.
are coming to the end because I do not want this to just like cut off
It's
and be
okay.
rude.
Yeah.
But if you could say, is there anything that you want to leave these divine people that are watching that you want to share that, to end this beautiful conversation?
Yeah, like just you're probably watching this and you're like, "Oh, she's like bubbly or she's down to earth and she's easy like she's able to formulate these answers on a whim." But like I'm a very introverted person, very introverted. I am not an extrovert, it depends who I'm around, but in person, but I'm an introvert able to build this business from my phone and be successful at it. So if you're like, I don't know if I could show up on Instagram, well, I didn't like nobody does. Nobody is able to just throw up their phone and be like, this is so easy. I can talk in front of my husband. I can talk in front of anyone who's here. It's not easy, but it's worth it. It is worth it. And you don't have to be the most extroverted, bubbly person in the room to be able to say the right thing, talk to people, whatever. It's all a learned trait. And Sam and all of us have all of these amazing resources that teach you how to talk on the camera and become this best version of yourself. But if you're sitting there and you're like, I could never do this because I'm so introverted and I don't even like to talk to people, same, same. So.
I get it. I get it. I look, no one really knows how introverted I am because it just this ultra
Yeah.
thing comes across because it's just
Yeah.
learning. So I want to
Yeah.
say thank you so much from the bottom of my heart, not only for your time, for just being here, a part of the business.
Yeah.
It's been an absolute pleasure. And if anyone has any questions, you can get back to the person that invited you or message us at any time. Till the next time, thank you.
Nice to chat with you guys. Bye.